everybody. Welcome to another episode of Action Movie Breakdown.
That was cheesy.
It's amazing, though. I mean, it sounds great to me. I love it when we do it in tandem like that.
For the podcast, it's going to sound great.
We're going to start harmonizing on it.
Mm-hmm. Action Movie Breakdown.
I am your senior host, Ellis Fowler.
And I am the executive producing host, John F. Thomas.
We'll have to talk. Now I have to put it on the subtitle because he said it. So, but senior host.
Don't put a line
also
through it and say unofficial.
I won't. I just put it in like a really hard to read font.
Okay.
And nobody can tell what it says. So
Uh-huh.
hopefully they skip over. I mean, on the podcast it doesn't matter, but you guys know senior host
It's horrible.
is in a slightly larger font.
Whatever. And we reviewed the movie. I'm slipping on my words here.
Avengers Endgame.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay.
Not Ender's Game, which is what I almost rented on Prime. But then I realized he's got to be talking about Avengers Endgame because that is, first of all, more relevant to today, and second of all, the hottest, biggest movie that's everybody's been anticipating for the longest. So.
What is Ender's?
Oh no, Ender's Game is the movie. It's a sci-fi movie. It came out in 2013, I think. It had Harrison Ford and this kid. It was pretty popular back then. They had lots of trailers.
So you got confused Disney and Harrison Ford.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah, I was
Okay.
like, okay, Marvel, which is Disney.
Right.
He must mean Harrison Ford, but it.
Yeah. Okay.
But I got it. I got it together.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not Ender's Game.
No, Avengers Endgame.
So I got a question for everybody before we start. How will, for everybody who's watching, you know, we're spoiling everything, whatever. Anyway.
Yes.
So how will the
Spoilers.
X-Men show up now when no prior mutant history was established? And when I say that, I'm talking about Professor X and Magneto. Because as we know, Magneto found out his powers when he was at the Nazi camp and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. So that's an interesting topic. Maybe y'all can fill it in. Put it in the comments. Let us know what you think. How it's going to happen.
Which is extra relevant now since Marvel now owns. Well, we'll be owning their rights.
No, they own it.
To X-Men. Yeah, exactly.
It's its own now.
And they've said they want to totally redo it
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So, good question.
Yeah,
All right. So, we're going to get into Avengers Endgame, how we felt about it. Let us know how you felt about it at the end. So, the way we do it, as you may know, we have 3 categories. Acting and casting, story and writing, and production and marketing. In those 3 categories, we give a star review. Out of 5 stars, we give it a review, 5 being the best. And then at the end of it all, we tabulate it all up and see what our overall action movie breakdown score is for the film.
Yep. So let's get into it.
Yeah.
All right. Going into acting and casting. I'll start it off since I let you start it off last time.
Actually, I think I started off the time before, and then you started. But it doesn't matter. Go
Okay,
ahead.
well, senior
Take
host.
it away.
Go ahead, senior host.
Okay, sure. I mean, why not?
Throwing your title around.
Yeah, I'm pulling rank. No, I mean, I don't. It doesn't matter a whole bunch to me because I don't have a whole bunch to say about this category, which is probably what I said last time and then talked for like 5-10 minutes about it. But I just, I don't have a lot of controversy with this category because the thing about this with the acting and casting is that there's not much new in this film in terms of the acting and casting, at least not in ways that are super significant. These characters are characters that we've been with for years and years and years. If you're talking about your Tony Stark, your Robert Downey Jr.
12 years to be exact.
Yeah, 12 years for him.
Ever since it started out.
Exactly, since the first Iron Man, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right at the beginning. So it's not like we're talking about new characters or actors who are terrible because these are people who've been with the franchise for, up to 12 years. And people, we already love them. We already know their arcs and things like that. So the only thing I have to say about the acting and casting is, first of all, that's pretty impressive to me. The only major character that they ever changed, I believe, was Rhodey. who was Terrence Howard in the beginning.
Yeah.
And then he turned into Don Cheadle in one movie. Just boop, I'm Don Cheadle now, and nobody batted an eye. So I think in this industry, and with the volatility of like contracts and things like that, when you're talking about a 12-year span, like it's a surprise that Tony Stark has not been 3 different characters.
That's
like,
true. Yeah.
You see what I'm a fan of, and we can't keep a Bruce Wayne. We can't keep a Bruce Wayne for more than, like, Christian Bale was the longest serving Bruce Wayne we've ever had. What's his name? Doesn't even want to do it anymore.
Oh, Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck. Yeah, I don't know his name anymore because he, doesn't want to be. But they cannot keep a Batman to be consistent for 12 years. So it's impressive to me that you still have a Tony Stark.
Yeah.
You still have a Robert Downey Jr. who is still Iron Man, and a Chris
Pratt. Wait,
Evans.
No.
Chris Evans.
Yeah,
Chris Evans, who's still Captain America. And so that's very impressive to me.
Yeah.
And then just in terms of the acting and casting, I mean, the cast is a really good cast. Because people, I don't think not so much anymore, but back in the day, people used to kind of write off superhero movies like they weren't of a certain caliber. But that is really, really changing. And I got to give major props to Robert Downey Jr. That man is a good actor. It wasn't 10 minutes into the film that I turned to my girlfriend and I was like, it's not fair. It's not fair how good of an actor this guy is. And like the beginning of the film, hopefully they use a body double. I hope he wasn't that skinny.
Oh yeah. I was
I'm like,
about
did they
that.
just put
I was
his head on
concerned
somebody?
literally about him.
Yeah, I'm like, dang.
I was really concerned.
Plus, it's only been 21 days, which I guess if you're not eating much, 21 days,
I mean, if you're
you
not
could
and you're in outer
lose a
space,
considerable
too.
amount.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then maybe the gravity isn't right, so you're getting some atrophy. So totally unrelated, but just in that scene itself, I was like, man, he has such a naturalness to him. It's like he's not even trying. And as somebody who's an actor and who understands how it looks easy, but how tough acting can be, and especially just coming off natural, he just makes it look so flawless. And it wasn't even 10 minutes into the movie, I was like, this guy is a good actor. And that carried on. But, I mean, we've seen that in all these movies. They didn't know if Tony Stark was going to be a character people would relate to and like and love. And he has been the backbone of this franchise.
Basically,
I feel like
he took a B character, a B superhero, and made him into an A superhero.
Right.
That's like taking basically like for instance, Static Shock in DC, and all of a sudden just catapulting him into like he's a huge hero.
Right. Box office leading, drawing people out to see character. And he was able to do that. And I just feel like you could easily get lazy and lax when you're playing a superhero. And because they're not known to have the most depth per se in terms of acting. But he did a phenomenal job this film, as he always does. And I was just really impressed with that. And of course, the rest of the cast, Jeremy Renner, Scarlett Johansson, I feel like they all, Chris Evans, they all gave really good performances. And then I gotta give a special shout out to Karen Gillian, I believe her name is, the woman that plays Nebula. I was very surprised that her character stepped up. Like, they gave her a meaty. Well, she was the fulcrum of this film. Which is kudos to her, congrats to her. That's awesome. To go from playing like I'm playing this kind of villainy character, who's kind of a side character, to you are the whole twist of this film is you. And you get to play 2 versions of yourself in 2 different ways. And her character seems kind of one note. She's I'm a robot and I have
it's hard to express emotion with that
but
character.
It's hard for, she didn't have a whole bunch to work with in terms of emotion, but I still felt like she made me feel. And she did a great job, and just congrats to her for being able to have her character kind of level up in that way. But like I said, I don't have any cons to talk about in terms of the acting and casting. And the pros are pros that we've already known, but I just had to give that extra special shout out. So yes, for me, in terms of look at the caliber of this cast. It has to be 5 stars.
Yeah, it has to be.
I can't take anything away from it. It's 5 stars.
Yeah, and how I feel about this, it's not too much to say different than what he's saying. I agree with everything that he's mentioned. Great casting, as usual. Shout out to Sarah Finn, who is the casting director of this film. For the other actors who happen to listen to this or watch this, Yeah, you be really happy if you see her as something you're
know,
submitting
right?
for.
Yeah,
So it's
heck
like,
yeah.
okay. And
Right?
Sarah we trust.
Yeah, man.
Amazing performances from everybody in the film. And yeah, like Robert, I mean, okay, amazing performance from Robert Downey Jr., of course. Wow, he's just so good.
He's good.
In so many ways, he's
Yeah.
just good. He just grabs your attention
Yeah.
no matter what he's doing. He could be eating chips, and everybody else actually has lines, and it's
Yeah.
just like he's so interesting. Wow, give me
And he
some
can
more of him.
Play all the notes, you know.
Yeah.
You would think like, oh, Playboy, like that's one thing, but now it's
Yeah.
being distressed, being a family man, like being torn. It's just so much different things that he's doing well.
Paul Rudd did a good job when he came
Totally
back
agree.
from. I mean, and his character, which I kind of hate, but his character is kind of stupid. But at the same time, I mean, he's not so stupid, and he's just around like, especially when he's around so many smart people, you can really tell, you kind of stupid.
Yeah.
So if he's around Tony or Hulk, it's like you're really dumb, and he's still not really used to the superhero. Thing yet he's still trying to get a feel of that. So, which is cool, kind of like the ordinary man's hero or thrown into.
Which I like. It's kind of it's an endearing character, yeah.
But it was really good seeing him look when he's jumped, skyrocketed 5 years into the future.
Oh yeah.
And he's trying to figure out what's going on. It's showing that he's dead and the people that he knows are dead. And he's just like, wait, what? What's happening? But that was a really great scene. I really loved that.
The scene where he went back to his daughter, man, that touched me.
Yeah.
I almost cried, I must say. Like, it was such a small part for her. And such a small part in the grand scheme of things. But that was a very emotional scene. And shout out to him because he made me feel it. Like, his anticipation, like, is she out there? And then when they saw each other, I was just like, dang.
And man, this is how you look. Like, I missed 5 years of your life.
I know, right?
And as for him, it's kind of like you got to kick yourself in the butt because it's just like I wanted to be there.
Yeah.
Like I wish, and it's like there was nothing he could really have done, in this situation. But it was a really touching scene. So
yeah, it was super touching.
Tom Holland, this dude outside of Robert Downey Jr.,
he's so good.
He's good.
He's so good.
He didn't even have that big of a role in this film, but him coming back. And kudos to both of them. I mean, also it's probably Robert Downey Jr. too, but both of them seeing each other and how he was like, Mr. Stark.
That almost got me too.
And they were just like,
snap!
Like, dude, you were just dead, and now you're back, and it was man.
In the theater I was in too, like when he came back,
a
huge response from the audience.
Oh
like,
man,
they were feeling
the audience I was in was lame as hell.
Oh dang! I mean, mine clapped at the end. And I always think it's funny when people clap in the theater and the filmmaker's not there because like, who you clapping for or whatever. But like they were into it. They were clapping when Black Panther came out. Oh yeah.
See,
Tom Holland came back. Oh yeah. And I was like,
the people out with it seemed like they just happened to walk into the movie. It's like,
what is this?
Like, why is he so excited? I was the only one making noise. Like, that's what I'm talking about. And I'm looking. I'm like, what is wrong with everybody else? Did you not see the past 20 movies?
I know, right?
So
exactly.
But I'm gonna wrap it up. Chris Hemsworth did a good job because even though he was kind of annoying for his Thor character to me a little bit, I get it though. I get it. But for him to be depressed and to he was going through waves, and he was. And the great thing I guess I do like about this, even though he was down in the depths a lot for a good portion of the film, in a sense that is real life, because some people, they can't get out of the muck as fast as others. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it takes a lot of time for people. They just need that time to work through whatever.
Yeah.
And that really kind of worked for this film, because it's like when they really needed him, he wasn't able to be there, even though he wanted to. He was fighting his own demons, which I did like about that. Scarlett Johansson, she did a great job.
You guys did such a different thing this time too. It's kind of cool for him.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Other than that, give it 5 stars. It was great.
Ooh.
So we're gonna go
2 pairs of 5
straight into story and writing.
1 pair of 5. Yes, story and writing. I guess it's back on me then.
Yeah.
All right, story and writing. You know what? I'll talk about the pros first. Actually, this was a really good film. And when I say film, I'm talking about a film, and I'm not talking about an action film. You know, this is actually a breakdown. I'm not talking about a superhero film. I'm not saying it's a good one of those films. I'm saying it's a good film in general, in terms of the emotions that it took us through. Even the way they shot it and stuff, I felt like they were trying to make more of a film as opposed to like, here's this action superhero film, which I thought was really cool. And of course, just as a writing, being able to incorporate all of this history that we've had with these films and kind of bring it to a nice culmination. I think they did an awesome job with that. So the emotion that was in it, like I said, I almost cried like probably 3 times in this film. And you know, that's not something you do much in a superhero film. Also they had lots of history and stuff to work with that, which I think helped. And like, I'm a writer and I usually see everything coming. You know, and they actually threw me for a loop a couple times, which I think is amazing. Because in the very beginning, once they went after Thanos, I was like, wait, where's this going? Is there going to be a new villain? Like, how are they going after him within the first, like, 20 minutes of the film?
That
like,
really threw me off. And I was just like, this is too soon.
And then when he died, I'm like, whoa, what is happening here? And I kind of suspected they would have a time travel angle, but I wasn't sure. And even with that, the time travel angle was different. It was really different. It wasn't like, we're just going to go back to that day and double up and then defeat Thanos. Which I thought was going to be something dumb like that. And I was like, please don't tell me there's going to be 2 Captain Americas and 2 Iron Mans fighting Thanos. Or like, they're going to go switch out with themselves or whatever. You know, I was like, that's going to be dumb.
Cheap.
And then the whole Nebula twist. And then Thanos from the past being the new threat. And I was just like, that's good. That's good, and it's something that I did not see coming. And whenever a movie can do that to me, especially a movie that is in a genre where it's easy to just fall into the tropes and stuff like that. I think that was. I think they did a spectacular job with that. And then, of course, the ending, like that, is amazing. The way that it all ended. I mean, this is a spoiler review, and you know that. But the way that it all ended and stuff, just really, really well done. And it brought everything to a really good crescendo. I don't have a lot of cons with this. I have what I call semi-cons. Because they're just things that I think maybe could have been a little different. But don't like really take a whole bunch away from it. One thing was, I felt like there was maybe a little bit too much nostalgia in this film for like the other films. Because I was like, when they first started with the time travel aspect and stuff, I was like, I don't want to rehash everything we've already been through. Which this also threw me for a loop too, because I thought it was going to be that and then it wasn't. So I was happy about that because I was like, I don't want to rehash this stuff. But some of it they spent a little too much time on, like Thor kind of going over his whole history again and stuff like that. I was like, I know it's funny and it's nostalgic and the Marvel fans are going to like it and stuff, but I was kind of like, I want to know what's about to happen now. Like, I don't necessarily care too much about what went on.
And this is a 3-hour movie.
And it's a 3-hour movie.
Come on, let's go. Let's get with
it. Let's see what the new stuff is gonna be. So I had a slight issue with that, even though it wasn't what I thought it was. It was better than I thought it was gonna be in those terms. I still had a little issue with that. And like you said, the length in general for me, it deserved to be 3 hours. It definitely did. But it could have been cut a little bit. Some of the stuff. But I understand they were trying to make it more filmy. But like the opening scene with Hawkeye and his family and stuff like that, that could have been cut in half. And it still would have had the same emotional impact. Thor rehashing his storyline could have been cut completely. And it still would have had the same impact. Some of the other stuff like the scene with Thor's mom could have been chopped a little bit.
I like it.
Even though I feel like, that's why I said this is a semi-con, because it's like, I like it there. So it not being there would have probably taken away from the emotional ride that we were on. And then the only other semi-con, well, there's a semi-con and a real con. So the other semi-con is the final battle. You can't avoid it in this film with such a scope and stuff like that. But it was kind of sad to see some of the characters who've been so built up have such small roles. You know, when you think of a character like Star-Lord or a character like Black Panther, who was so huge, and then they have such a minimal role. And I understand it, and it's probably unavoidable from a writer's perspective, and to fit it in that time.
They could have put them.
They could have done a little different though. They could have done a little more. And maybe it's also because this is not their end. They still have a future, so we have to keep that in mind. They still got movies coming up.
Yeah.
But
Still.
it would have been nice to see just a little more interaction with Thanos, or just maybe a little more time of them battling, doing something significant.
Yeah.
But, Black Panther ran away with the gauntlet and stuff. That was cool. And I respect it. So it's not a con. But it's something that, as a fan, I wish maybe some of those characters could have more shine. Yeah. The only con I have is Captain Marvel. And she's a con in a lot of ways for me. First of all, I don't like her. I don't like her personality. I did not feel like she was human. And it's not her fault. It's not your fault, Brie. It's probably the writing.
Yeah. Or is it? No.
It's a combination. Because the character is this kind of cold, I don't care character. And I just didn't feel any humanity from her. But I also didn't have time to feel humanity from her.
Yeah, so that's writing's fault.
Yeah. And then from a writer's perspective, I'm like, Nick Fury had a pager that could reach her wherever the heck she was. You mean to tell me y'all had no way to contact this woman? I forgot all about Captain Marvel until they pointed the guns up, and I was like, what could it be? Oh, Captain Marvel. Captain America forgot about Captain Marvel. He was like, what's that? And I'm like, you mean to tell me y'all didn't have any way to contact this woman? I understand that she's super powerful. So from a writing perspective, it's kind of hard to have her there and also have your other characters shine.
Get a laser pointer and point it into outer space.
I know.
I hope you see this.
But at the same time, I'm just like, she was such a side note that it was almost like you could have done without her, So the combination of her being a side note plus her not being very endearing, I don't know. I don't have time to say everything that I'm feeling about that. I just know I did not necessarily like how she was written in, and this movie did not help me like her as a character. So take small points away from that. Overall, because of the semi-cons and the one con I have, I'm almost regretting this, but I'm going to give it 4.5 stars. That's just because I don't give like 4.7s and stuff. But it's a very, very good film.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You said words.
I did. Lots of them.
So, in my story, right, I'm going to start with the pros. Wow. The story and writing. Wow. An amazing way to finish off. I don't even know what phase we're in. What is this, phase
3, I think.
3?
I think it's 3.
Phase,
people say 3.
Regardless.
I don't even know what that means.
An amazing way to finish off an arc. A huge arc. Storytelling arc starting from Iron Man all the way into this.
That's crazy when you think about it.
I am Iron Man. And that's it. It was a wrap. It was over. Son.
He's so tight.
Man, and he couldn't even talk at the end. He was like, okay. He didn't say okay. He was just like, all right, I'm going to die. And that was it. He didn't have to say it. He said what he had to say. Other than that, there was a lot of stressful moments and other times where, just like you were saying, you couldn't really predict what was going to happen. Where it's just like, wait, Thanos is coming from the past into the future?
Yeah.
What?
You're like, what? No.
I'm like, but he ain't got the stones now, so
it all up.
maybe it'll be a little easier.
Right. Fair.
Speaking of that, semi-con, I was just like, why isn't Hulk getting his revenge after he got punked out in Infinity War? Although, in his defense, he tried to use the stone. Well, he used the stones to bring everybody back, so his arm was messed up.
Yeah.
And then, after that, he was holding up the building, and he was still injured. So,
yeah.
I mean, you gotta let that slide.
He could have been even better if he went up with one arm.
One arm, and just punched him.
Yeah.
He should have at least did something. Kick him.
He got Bruce Banner, who's not a martial artist or anything, but he's a smart guy. Maybe he can analyze it.
And that would have been interesting. I guess that's another little semi-con for me. It's like, okay, now you have this like Hulk Bruce Banner merger, and it's just like, ooh, how to see how he fights
let's see
now
what
that he's
that's all
smart
about.
and strong.
Yeah.
Instead of just. But we didn't really get to see that in this film, so it was good. It was still good, but it was just kind of like, I wanted to see a little more from Hulk.
Yeah.
But it's all good. Other than that, and actually, I think that's all. Oh, yeah. I knew that Tony was going to, Tony or somebody, either him or Captain America was going to die off. Somebody was going to die.
Is this a pro? Or
This is a
was
pro.
Okay.
No, this is a pro that I'm talking about now.
All right.
Yeah. So I knew that they were gonna die, even though I predicted it. Even though I knew it was gonna be Tony. Oh yeah, that's right. He did say. He said one, and even way before that, I was like, something that Tony said. I was like, he's gonna die, because when Tony finally changed his mind and was just like, came back and told everybody, he was like, you know what, he said, and maybe we can make it out alive. I said, oh, nope, that means you're gonna die.
Not you.
You are gonna die because you have a lot to lose. So he's gonna die. But
I thought he was gonna lose his family, honestly.
No, I didn't think he was gonna lose his family.
But I'm glad that it was him.
I mean, he's been doing this for a while anyway, so it's like it's time to move on with what he wants to do. He's earned it and deserves it. But yeah, even with it, you saw it coming. I saw it coming. And it still made you cry. It made me cry. I was sitting, hey, anyway, I was up a little bit there, like I was trying not to, like, man, it's dusty. And, but then I almost got to a point where, man, it almost really, really, really got me. If I was by myself, it probably would have really got me. I was trying to man up in front of all the people in there because they were heartless. But no, it was good. All those things were good. No, the con that I have, or semi-con, is that the time travel aspect was confusing. It was confusing to me because it was just like, well, you can't go back and really change the past. No matter what you do, you can't really change it.
Which I liked that when they explained it, but continue.
But then when you add in all
it's different.
Yeah, it's different because it's different than all the other films. Yeah. So, typical other films. Don't touch anything.
Yeah, you can't even see yourself. You can't.
Don't push that person off. Whatever.
Which I may agree with more, but I think that their angle on it was different. And I bought it. I was like, okay, I'll buy that.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I was cool with it too until they started adding in all this extra stuff. It's like, well, we're going to take this out of the past to use into the future. And it's like, well, if you can't really change the past, then you can't really take, I don't know. That's just too much really.
Well, I was thinking that too, but then they explained it with the offshoots. And so they're like, well, if we just put it back, then it's A-okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
even with that, okay, so
there's things that.
Well, let's just go to the end of the whole thing when Captain America came back, and if you think about it, when he went back and stayed there, and he got with Peggy, and eventually, because remember she had a kid that he was talking to in Civil War, I believe. Yeah, Civil War. And I think, and I guess that's when he saw Peggy died in Civil War. All this stuff. So you basically changed that aspect. So
Yeah. So you created new timelines when you did that.
When you did that.
First of all, there was two Captain Americas in existence. The one fighting and stuff, and then the one married to Peggy.
And that one was frozen. The original one was frozen.
Well, he was frozen, but eventually he was unfrozen and became an Avenger. But
the older Steve, he's just living his life with his wife and
exactly. While the other Steve is being an Avenger and all that stuff, and stuck in a time loop.
Makes no sense.
Because eventually he's gonna go back in time and become that Steve.
Yeah.
And then the other Steve will keep looping.
Yeah. So
we don't have time to talk about it, but
yeah,
if you think about that, there's two Steves. One's in a perpetual time loop of being an Avenger, going back in time and becoming the other Steve who gets old.
Yeah,
think about that.
Yeah. So I mean, certain aspects of data are confusing.
Yeah,
but whatever. So this and then also what he's talking about, the intro on Hawkeye. I don't care. I'm sorry. I do, but I don't. Like all of a sudden, you want me to care now about Hawkeye?
He always hates on Hawkeye.
Hawkeye sucks. The only time Hawkeye got good was in this movie, and then he started killing people. It's like, hey, whoa, hold on. I want you to be good, but don't go to the extreme. You're not the Punisher. You're not. You're not DC Extended Universe's Batman.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Or DC Extended. Well, I don't know what universe that is, but the original Green Arrow from the show, he was killing people at first. Too.
That's true. But that Green Arrow was better. Dude, okay. Supposedly, real quick. Supposedly Hawkeye is supposed to be better than Green Arrow if you put them together. This person sucks. Hawkeye in this universe, this Marvel universe, he sucks. Fight me, okay? Comment in the comments below. I'll respond back. He sucks.
I don't disagree. I just have a soft spot for Hawkeye because he's sort of the Batman
Man, he sucks.
of the team.
Black Widow is the Batman of the team.
That's true. I mean, a lot of them are actually the Batman of the team, it seems like. But if you look at power levels and stuff like that, I guess maybe her. Because she doesn't even use many weapons.
She's more useful
Yeah.
than
But-
Hawkeye has.
But he
been.
was kind of the leader. I remember in the old cartoon that I saw, he was kind of the leader.
No, the cartoons, Hawkeye was
Yeah,
tight.
which made him more like the Batman to me because it's like he's human.
Yeah.
I don't think he's a mutant or anything. He does have a power of accuracy, but like
Yeah.
other than that, he's just a guy fighting against a man in a metal suit and a huge hulking monster.
I mean, it would have been cool for some kind of validation of Hawkeye
yeah,
to at least
I
be
would
like
love to
far
see
away,
him do something cool, like
hiding behind a rock and just
snipe out. Yeah, just
start
snipe
trying to-
Thanos in the ear. or
yeah,
something.
trying to distract him.
Oh,
you know,
what?
like who
And
did
then
that?
let Steve
you know?
come and smack him with the shield.
Yeah.
That would have been tight.
Yeah, that'd have been cool.
Yeah. I mean, he fought the little monsters, which was cool.
The henchmen, who cares?
Yeah,
Fuck the
you're
henchmen.
right, henchmen.
But anyway,
Yeah, okay.
so the intro to Hawkeye that lingered a little too long. They could have hit that and just went on,
I
and
agree.
that'd have been cool. And Thor's explanation, like you said, of his past. I mean, it wasn't really necessary. Also, probably the bigger con was Captain Marvel necessary? What was the point of us going to see
we
this
got the
movie?
same one. Oh, you mean the actual film? Yeah, I know.
Well,
Is that what you mean? Oh, the character, yeah.
I mean,
because like
honestly-
we go to see this to be like, okay, so
Yeah.
let's make sure we got all this info, so we'll be good for Endgame.
Yeah.
And then it's like,
They didn't even really use it.
you could have made a movie after,
Yeah,
and it been,
about the same.
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, regardless, it was good. Woman power, whatever. But I mean, it was cool having Okoye and Black Widow. I mean, I don't know, whatever. It was just show how strong she was. He had butted her, and she didn't budge, and it was just like, okay. But
powered
he
through that
backsmacked
shit.
her, didn't
Yeah, he did.
so-
but he had to use the Power Stone to really knock her
he?
out.
Did he have the power stone?
Yeah, he took it out the glove. One of the stones. I'm assuming it was the
Oh,
Power
okay.
Stone. Yeah, he took one out, put it in his hand so he could smack the hell out of
Oh,
it.
okay.
Otherwise, I don't think he can do nothing to it.
But yeah, that's the thing. Like he is, even though he could have been bested by Captain Marvel and by Scarlet Witch, because those were the two that can honestly could have taken
True,
him
he
out.
got scared.
He was real scared. He
got
called the
scared.
troops and hey, y'all need to help
He was
out.
like, I don't care about my men. Shoot down
Everybody.
here, yeah.
Man.
Man.
And so yeah, but he outsmarted them. So
It's true.
they just weren't ready. He has more battle experience. Honestly.
Yeah, true.
Years and years. I don't know how old
He
he is.
won't go.
Nope. But other than that, I mean, those are the only things that I was kind of down about. And I do wish that like Black Panther would have scratched him or something.
Kick him.
Something.
Uses power expulsion to
Yeah.
just knock him back, make him
Right. Yeah.
make
Yeah.
him tumble a little bit. Oh, lost my footing.
Right.
And then let Steve hit him with the shield.
Yeah. Steve can still.
They
come
could have
in.
all helped Steve hit him with the shield.
Yeah, they didn't try. They didn't want to help him. But I give it a 4.5. You know,
Nice.
so it was cool. It was.
Yeah.
Other than that, it would have been a 5.
Side note, so cool, Steve using the freaking hammer. Because I knew it happened in the comics. I knew he was able to lift it in the comics.
Yeah.
He used it more than I thought he would in this movie, but I thought that was cool. But just a side note. Something else I thought was really cool too.
Yeah, it was
well,
cool.
of course,
It was
Iron
cool.
Man with the damn gauntlet. That was cool.
Yeah.
But,
This is probably for another. Okay, another question. I was confused because when Thanos was using the gauntlet in Infinity War, his hands weren't really burning. Maybe because he used all the gems at once. Maybe that's why. But no, remember in the film, he put the gauntlet on. He started, moving around. It's like, wait, that didn't happen in the first movie. Was it because he had maybe more insulated gauntlet in the other movie?
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe
I
just
don't know.
because the technology of Iron Man is definitely not like
Maybe it's a
that
bad reaction.
Hephaestus guy in the stars who made the last gauntlet.
That's true. That was from
Yeah.
the heart of a star or something like
Yeah,
that. I
it's
don't
kind
know.
of like when you put on a fake necklace and you turn green. It's kind of like that. All right, we're gonna get into production and marketing. Luckily, I don't have much to say except for the one word, Marvel.
I have nothing.
That's all I have to say.
I've written
It's
down
Marvel.
nothing.
Huge budget, amazing everything, crazy good marketing. I actually tried to avoid the marketing. I only saw what was thrown in front of me.
Yeah.
But if I wanted to see like 6 or 7 different things, I could have different trailers and
You peeled your eyes
just
over.
you cannot be in
Gosh.
existence in this world and not have known that Avengers Endgame was coming out and it was going to be huge.
It was
So,
coming. It was coming. Either word of mouth or Facebook,
Something,
on Instagram,
yeah,
or
something.
TV,
Even
or
NPR
billboards.
probably talked about it. Like,
Yeah.
you would have found, you knew this was coming out. You knew it was going to be huge, and it was record breaking before it even dropped.
It was as
So-
big of an event as Star Wars. That's,
Yeah.
and that's I've never seen another movie touch as much
That's true.
fandom, as much of a frenzy
exactly.
as this film.
And if you think about it, like, this has 12 years. Star Wars has 30 plus
Yeah.
years of build up. So to do that is just amazing and huge. Kudos to them all.
Yeah.
It's a 5 for production and marketing. It can't be anything less.
yeah,
I mean, it'd be crazy.
and same for me. Like I don't have much. I try to avoid as much trailers as possible because I didn't want anything ruined. I wanted to come from seeing the end of Infinity War. Remember the end of Infinity War, and just going straight into Avengers Endgame because I kind of already knew what was going to happen in the sense like people coming back. But I was like, nope. I just want to be as ignorant as possible and see this film bright-eyed and fresh as a newborn baby. That's what I want. But I saw one trailer, and I
I
did
saw
pretty
like
good.
a third of a trailer.
Yeah.
And then like one steal from a trailer that I did not want to see. Because they were like, oh, look, it's Captain Marvel and Iron Man fighting each other together. And fighting Thanos together. And I was like, I wanted to think that maybe he died in the first 10 minutes of the film. Maybe Tony died in space when his oxygen ran out.
Yeah.
Which is what you do
Right.
when your oxygen, unless Captain Marvel comes and puts a spaceship on her shoulders. But
Yeah.
that's it. So
Strong.
when you tally it all up, 5, 4.5, and 5 for me, and I think it was the same for you,
That
right?
was the exact same, surprisingly.
Wow.
We
Yeah.
didn't even check what the score was before. It's
Yeah.
like, I started laughing. It's the same score.
And let me
5.
tell you, people, I wanted to not feed into the because everybody's probably reviewing this well. I guess maybe not. Maybe if they're a hater, but I wanted to just be objective and not be like, oh, it's Marvel and it's huge, so it's gonna get a 5. But it was just really good. So
Yeah. Even the stuff that you wanted to hate on, still
you
good.
couldn't really say too much.
Yeah.
That's why I Simicon.
I
I've
mean-
never done that.
It was easy for Hawkeye, but, other than that.
This guy.
Cartoon Hawkeye is dope.
Okay, you're
Okay.
right though. You're right.
This universe, Hawkeye sucks.
Yeah.
Anyway, so overall, you mix it all together. You mix it all,
Jumble
basically,
it up.
it becomes a 5. It's just a
just
5.
a 5.
This is an epic movie. It's an
Look at the
epic
average.
ending, an epic movie.
Yeah.
Wow.
So amazing. They did so well. And the way that they just finished off the main characters, like with Tony and Cap, they just did such a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it made me want to start going to the gym and get ready just in case they're like, hey, Marvel's calling you up. It's like, yes, I'm ready.
Why not?
I'm ready.
Stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
So I have a few questions for y'all. I'm gonna make it real quick. Number 1, will Ironheart show now that Tony isn't around anymore? May Tony rest in peace.
She's old enough.
Well, actually, you know what's funny? One of the twins, they probably not gonna watch this. Anyway, the twin, they have a busy life. They were saying that actually she started when she was 16.
There you go.
But-
Because I think I remember in the seeing a picture she was young.
Yeah. But I mean, this is
So
a
she'd
Marvel
be like an
movies,
older one, but
and they got liberty to do what they want, so
Yeah.
they can do what they want. So the question still holds.
Okay.
Second question: will Anthony Mackie get a solo Captain America film?
maybe. Who knows? What do you think?
Wow.
I just don't think they do it. But
Yeah, I don't
I'd be
think they
surprised
do
if
it
they
either.
did.
But yeah, if they do, then I'm like, okay, because I can finally see what his character
I'd go
actually
see it.
is.
Marvel, you hear that? I'd go see it.
Yeah, I'd go support. I'd check it out. And lastly, did Gamora run off with Nebula somewhere, or does Gamora not exist anymore? Did she, because I'm pretty sure she survived the snap, if my memory serves me correctly. Or did she just?
Yeah, where is she?
Did she get snapped away? Did she
Yeah.
happen to go back into the past? Because
Maybe
really, it doesn't.
she got snapped away. Because I was
Or-
like, what is the snap? What is it targeting? And I'm like, is it a targeting associates of Thanos? People that came with Thanos to this planet. So in that case,
could have said Thanos
she would
and
have
his
been
army.
snapped away. But yeah, so I don't know what it was targeting.
So technically, if that's the case, she wasn't a part of his army towards the end.
That's true. But she came there technically as an enemy.
Yeah.
But then she wasn't. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But if she isn't, if she's out there somewhere, she is from the past, still in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Russo brothers, you cannot tell me that won't screw up some kind of timeline. Because if she left the past, stayed in the future, even if she got snapped away and disintegrated, unless she just got snapped back to her timeline, which is I'm assuming what the snap did from Tony. Didn't kill them all, just snapped them back to their timeline in their proper place. Then
the rules
I
of
guess
time
that's
travel,
fine.
it makes no sense. It's weird. Now,
Well-
see, all this stuff that we talking about now, it makes no sense.
Unless when Tony snapped, he just put everybody back. Then that makes sense. Then it's fine.
Thanos can still come back.
But
You just try again.
I don't think so though. Because
No,
the events
this is
of
confusing,
this,
man.
he snapped them back before they found out about this.
Do we
So-
know? We don't know though.
So
We don't
Cap
know
is
what
gonna
he
go
thought.
put them all back. Well, but I had a question too. I was like, can Cap put all the stones back? Can he go to the place where the Power Stone came from? The place where the Soul Stone came from? Since Scarlet, nope, her name is not Scarlet Witch. It's Black Widow. Her name's Scarlett Johansson. Since Black Widow died and the Soul Stone was created for this particular situation, does that change anything?
Maybe he brought
Can
her
he
back.
put that back?
Maybe he brought her back because a soul for a soul. So if he brought,
If he
brought
throws the
Soul
stone back in there, then she
maybe
should
she'll
be able to come back up, which makes sense.
Hey,
That's
maybe,
deep.
maybe that's why we can
That's
get
deep.
another Black Widow movie.
Yeah, old Black Widow, because he just kept her with her in his old timeline. He's like, "You gonna be my neighbor," and she's like, "I want to go back to the future." He's like, "No, we are living
He
the
just-
life," and
he
she's
just hijacked
depressed.
her life.
And he's like, "Well, I don't know why you're so sad. This is great, isn't it?" And she's like, "Oh my God, I just want to go back. Just kill me again."
No.
I'll be back tomorrow. My wife's gonna make you another apple pie.
that's gonna be great. We're gonna listen to old time radio.
Yeah, don't you love these old timey tunes? These modern tunes for me.
Yeah, but those are questions we have, and thank you for tuning in.
Thank you so much.
If you'd like to support us, we're on podcast. We have other podcast exclusive reviews that you won't see here.
That's true.
Where we talked about Shazam, and we have the Joker and
trailer
us.
thing.
And there's going to be other stuff we're going to do, podcast exclusives. If you want to support us, go to anchor.fm/action movie breakdown. You can donate $1, $5, or $10. And we'll review a show that you'd like us to review, or we'll review a movie at your request. So, yeah. And let it be a good choice.
Yeah, please.
Or
Don't
it can be a
watch
sucky choice and we just have to sit through it.
It could be Ender's Game.
Oh, please no. That does not sound fun.
I think it was alright, but
But,
yeah.
yeah. So, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on Action Movie Breakdown. Yeah. That's our new thing. So we gotta rehearse next time. Sing it.
Get the same.
Yeah, it's
type
like
of key.
Action Movie Breakdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is not too bad.
That wasn't too bad.
That was off the cuff. I mean,
Yeah,
we just did that.
It is
right
improv.
there.
Improv singers.
Pretty
That's
good.
what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we show up, with just what do you call it? The cooking thing.
The apron?
Come, show up with an apron on.
Only
And,
an apron?
Only with an apron.
Oh, that'd be our thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know why.
Naked singers.
But it would draw an audience.
Yeah.
Some kind of audience.